it was said that Ukraine would not last. I think it was 4 days. By the way, now we're going into the third year. Ukraine won the victory in Kharkiv, in Kherson. In the Black Sea, by the way, in the Black Sea, they sunk another Russian vessel. And guess what? The grain is flowing right to the beginning of what it was at the beginning of the war. Quite phenomenal for a country that has not gotten the kind of equipment, military equipment, that would really enable it to fight this war effectively. F-16, ATACMS, long-range missiles, these have not been provided, and there are military who would, with due respect to Danny, who would differ with you on that question that I have heard,
Okay.
and they say if they got that, they would be able to win.
John Mearsheimer.
A couple points. What happens in the naval war hardly matters at all. The question that matters is what happens in the ground war. There's no doubt that in 2022, the Ukrainians did quite well on the battlefield. It's in large part because the Russians went into Ukraine with a rather small army, 190,000 men at the most, and they were overextended, and that's why they suffered the defeats that Heather described in Kharkiv and Kherson. There's no question about that. But what happens in late September of 2022, this is the first year of the war, is that Putin mobilizes 300,000 men. Then over the course of 2023, 495,000 new soldiers joined the Russian army. And what's happened here is that the balance has shifted. And if you look at what happened in 2023, the Ukrainians in the start of that year suffered a significant defeat in Bakhmut, and then there was the counteroffensive, which was a total disaster. The Ukrainians suffered greatly. Go to 2024, the balance is continuing to shift against the Ukrainians. They've just lost Avdiivka. And if you read the newspapers carefully every day, there's desperation, there's depression inside the ranks of the Ukrainians. They are back on their heels. And as I said, and as Danny said, looking forward, the balance is shifting further against the Ukrainians.
So they're making an argument for momentum at this point.
They are back on their heels, John, because we have failed to provide the ammunition that they need to counter that.
We don't have the ammunition to give them. We don't have the tubes to give them. We can give the money, but you can't fight a war with dollar bills. You need tubes, you need artillery, you need air power, you need air defenses.
We do have capabilities that we could provide them. We are choosing to not provide some of those long-range capabilities. And I would disagree with you. The naval component, Crimea, is absolutely critical to the future security of Ukraine, which is why the Ukrainians need a long-term resolution on Crimea.